asked for the same thing. We've asked for the same thing, the full compliance complaint, authorize the child out, whatever. But we would like the full complaint so we can read the full complaint like we are here able to on this compliance complaint. But you don't do that. You only pick and choose which people you do that to. I find it offensive that it happens to be, when it's a high-profile parent.
Well,
what I'm basically asking is that next month, when we have next board meeting, when we have a meeting, that you do the same thing that you just did now with all the compliance complaints, the full compliance complaints.
For the CAC, because I think she just explained that.
No, not that just relates to the CAC, that relates to special education.
But this is what relates to the CAC, and so I'm perfectly comfortable with having, with knowing more, because this really relates to what we're doing, and I'm not sure what other compliance complaints you're talking about. Is it regarding the kids?
Yes, it's regarding it.
That I would not be comfortable, looking at names.
We're sitting on a CAC that's all about special education to make sure that our school districts are meeting the needs of our children. When there's a compliance complaint, that's telling you that obviously we didn't either quite meet it to the parents' expectation, even though it might have been in the favor of the school district winning, but we have an idea of what's happening in our school district. Absolutely, it's part of what we're doing. And like I was trying to explain, I find it offensive that when I ask for all the compliance complaints regarding special ed, whether it be CAC, just specify the CAC or not, that they all are in the packet, not just the chosen ones.
I'm talking about names here, so, in terms of names, I am perfectly comfortable with not having names of children.
And that's why I said she could authorize the children's names.
So I don't know, what everybody else thinks, but personally, I'm okay with not having children's names divulged. So,
do you really find purpose, though, of the CAC to review all of the findings of CDE regarding compliance complaints for the district? I mean,
How many are we talking about? I mean, is this something that you've got 2 hours set aside once a month and not every month? I'm asking.
You would get it just like you did, and you read it at home, Martinez. You would get it just like this in the agenda, and it would show all of them for all the school districts.
And the summary is not working then? I mean, it's not getting enough information? I mean, what are you looking for?
What I'm looking for is all the compliance complaints that are filed. We shouldn't just get certain ones. We should be getting them all as a CAC. Just like me as a board of trustee for OMSD, I should be seeing them all of them for OMSD if one is filed regarding an OMSD child. It's my responsibility as a board member.
Do you? I'm just curious. Are you?
We haven't had one.
Shouldn't it be where we, as representative, also we should start with our own district as far as me getting together with Chafee, my administration, and starting from there as each one can start with their district and get the
working as a team, so instead of separating and doing it quickly and fast, it would make sense that we don't all go off our own different ways and bring them to the CAC. Joan Riley, the Weston Selco, receives all the compliance complaints. They have them. They have them readily available. They can do this. They did it before. You guys saw 2 compliance complaints before. One of them was mine, and one of them was Christy back there. She was also offended that her name wasn't authorized and stuff like that. So was I.
I may be wrong, but as far as I recall, they were CAC related, right? When they were CAC related, they were not, again, maybe I'm not distinguishing between enough, but if it's to do with our practice,
it is. All compliance complaints are complaints.
I understand more, but I think this, what we're talking about, right, this particular one, I know from the previous one, actually relates to these 2 hours or 1 hour or whatever it is that we spend on the third Tuesday, of every month. I mean, that's the one. And that, yes, I would be interested in knowing because I'm a part of it. It's being said against me too. The school district district's ones, yes, I would like an overall summary, but I'm not sure. And again, I think we should just make a decision and then maybe remove, but I don't see the benefit for me to know about all districts, the specifics about everything. I would like to know about overall, what the direction is, what's going on. But I just don't see the benefit in that. And as you said, we might be here a long time discussing the details of everything. So that's my point of view.
And how many are we talking about? Still the
It will
question.
vary. I mean,
I know,
some years,
just on average.
we have maybe, what is it, a 3 or 4 inch binder that we set aside. Some years it's completely full. Some years it's not. They tend to kind of run in cycles, where you get, what I do is, I get a copy and the district gets a copy of the complaint. We do not, I don't share Uplands District's complaints with, Chafee District. Each district has that information to take a look at it, and, sometimes, they maybe find out of compliance. If they are, the expectation is that, they improve their practice. At each year, I go through and review all of the complaints and try to summarize if there are patterns of problems. So if we have, timeline violations and they're occurring in 2 and 3 different districts, then I know that, we need to do a better job, making all of our district staff aware of those timelines, and that's something that we need to really look at a procedure for. And a couple of years ago, there was a problem. We did find that the 5-day timeline for records was a problem across a number of districts. Other years, you may find that one particular district is having a difficulty with a particular procedure. The last year, there was really nothing that I could particularly point out. And so, this information I provide to our program advisory and the superintendents is the same information I provide to the CAC in regard to the summary, so that if you're aware of any systemic problems, or any problems that may be unique to your district. Because
But they would have the details, because a copy is given to the school district.
Right, the school district does have a copy of this.
And you just said that you give the same thing that you give the PAC committee as what you give us. That's not true. We only have the CAC ones, that's it. And the 2 other CAC ones prior to that.
I don't give those necessarily to PAC and FAC. So I give the summary. I don't give the exact ones to the entire PAC and FAC.
It's good to know because I go to the superintendent council meetings, I get their agendas, okay? They have the due processes that have been filed. When you see them, it is very clear that Chino is draining the X-Pot because they can't get their special education department in order. And because they're draining the X-Pot, then the other school districts suffer in the long run because they're wasting valuable money that didn't need to be wasted. And it's the same thing with the compliance complaint. When you see these things, you can see a routine pattern, just like she said. But she brings one, and the other time before she brought 2, but she doesn't bring them all. And I think we should.
But she explained that, right? I mean.
But
I thought
I'm
it was
saying
an
as a
explanation.
CAC, seeing the special ed is why we're here. We should be seeing them all. Where are we not meeting the needs? Whether the parent was, wanting the complaint or not, where did we go wrong? Where did the parent assume that they were in the right? What went wrong?
Okay, so do we make a motion? Because usually a discussion doesn't take place until a motion
No,
is.
we don't have to vote on this.
Well,
This is
just as an
just-
action item,
This is
Or
for
this
Joan.
is just a discussion.
Joan, since you do bring some of the complete compliance complaints forward, let's do that in the future. The next, this meeting is in May. Bring the complete compliance complaint like you did this time.
if you want to have that as an additional agenda item, I think that needs to be an action of the whole group.
Well, maybe
because it was in regards specifically to the CAC.
But we have asked for compliance,
Yes,
we
we've
have
asked for
asked
all.
for due process. We have asked for all that, and I know you come up with numbers, there were so many numbers, so many compliance complaints, there were so many due process numbers, but there's no summary of what happened. How did the school district neglect something from happening with this child? Whether it was, I know I've seen some, that a general ed teacher was not in the classroom or having an IEP. There was like a brief summary of each one. I don't remember seeing that.
That was at the September meeting. Do you have the book?
I have my book.
Do you have the book? If you look under the September meeting, item C1 is the compliance complaint analysis. And this is, as I said, this is the analysis that I share with the program administrators, program advisory committee, as well as the superintendents. And so, I could have given an overview of how many complaints were filed.
Right, but where's the summary, where?
Well, it says the issues where the districts were found out of compliance include failure to adhere to the timelines for IEP meetings or assessment plans. And it says there are 7 of them.
Okay, so you pick and choose which ones you want?
No, these are all of the complaints for the entire year.
Okay, so,
What we're basically saying is we would like the full packet, the whole compliance complaint, like this, the findings, the whole
I think
thing.
you're saying that, Mom.
So, I'd like to
Do
see.
you want that for all 33 issues that are on the summary for last year?
if we do it in every business meeting,
Yeah,
if
I
we do,
think we might as well just take a consent, it's not an action item, or whatever you're gonna.
if we do it at every business meeting, it's not gonna be all these compliance, it'll be one. This was just one.
Basically, what you want to do is you want to review and you want to know where the weakness is happening in whatever district this is happening, right? From there, we will have to, obviously our superintendents and directors of that school district are aware of what's happening, right?
And
So-
us as the CAC, if it's an issue, say people aren't getting their services, that's where we do a presentation regarding services, how to make sure.
So
you
why
get the
not get a
services.
summary of what the weaknesses are, what some of the reasons have been, and we can get them quick and just see it's this, and this is supposed to be people's names, get the whole documentation.
That's
Just get the
that's
summary,
basically what I'm
but
saying
just-
is, the names, they really
But
shouldn't
it
be
can be
here.
done in one page, just saying, what has been happening is this, and we can, obviously, as.
Not only, you really can't do it that way, because if you see the way that it was done in September, it's this little, if you wanna hold it up, and it's just brief little things, it's not detailed in any way. We can pick and choose what we wanna read on this. And like I said, if the child's name is on this, it has to be ulcerized. We cannot have access to that.
But can
We are not
Can
allowed.
we already know what, if we find out where that is failing, or so we already can determine what kind of presentations we can do? By looking at that, and we can, I just feel that, from an observation from last,
You see that, this is the whole detail.
but when
If you were the parent and you saw that, and yours was like this, what would you think?
what I would be more interested is on people to work, like you said, on getting education on whatever the need is, and if we get that page and we see what the need is, it doesn't matter if you have 5 pages or 1 page. If we see that the need, they're not getting this certain service and this certain service, then we can
It's just that
start our presentations on
it
that.
has to be about fairness, that you can't pick and choose. You
Well,
either, you
Joe
do it
said
or-
7 of them, right?
You either
It was
do the
7.
whole thing, or you
17. Okay, so
7 on that one item.
and the hardest time of this journey, as we all know, we are mothers who've been around just like you. We're all very aware,
we all care so much